This week, we are going to be focusing on Earth Day because it's Earth Day this week. And so we are going to celebrate Earth Day, but we're going to learn a little bit about Earth Day. And in your writing assignment this week, you guys will be writing an informative writing assignment on Earth Day. So as I'm going through these slides, I want you to start thinking about what kind of facts from these slides do you want to talk about in your writing assignment. And this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, slide 1 is to talk about the holiday. What is Earth Day? Slide 2 is going to talk about reducing. So what does that mean? 3 is going to talk about reusing. What does that mean? 4, recycling. 5, they're going to focus on plants. 6, we're going to focus on animals. And then 7, we're going to focus on doing your part. So how can you contribute to making the earth a better place? About the holiday. Earth Day is celebrated on April 22nd each year. The first Earth Day in the US was celebrated in 1970. Many people participated in planting trees, collecting garbage, and completing projects that help our Earth. Earth Day is meant to raise awareness of the impact we have on the environment. So how do we as humans impact the environment? Recycling. So let's focus on recycling. We know a lot about recycling, but we're going to talk about it anyways. Recycling is the process of turning used waste and materials into new products. Recycling prevents useful materials from being wasted. So bottles and cans and paper plates and cardboard, right? It also helps reduce energy use and pollution. Many different materials can be recycled, such as paper, plastic, glass, metal, and more. You may see recycling bins in your classroom. And I know Miss Kellogg had one in her classroom, but we started doing recycling bins in the MU for lunch, right? You may see recycling bins in your classroom, at the park, or even at a restaurant. There are also drop-off centers that collect recyclable material. So there's places that you can go to recycle your cans or your bottles. Reusing. What does reusing mean? Reusing means that an item is used many times before throwing it in the trash. So people reuse items by donating clothes, using water bottles more than once, and taking supplies and using them in a new way. So for example, you can take a used bucket and turn it into a container to hold plants. And when you guys you're going to do a STEM project this week, and you're going to be reusing recyclables, and you're going to turn it into something. So that's one of the processes you guys are going to be doing. You're going to reuse something and create something new with it. Reducing. So what does reducing mean? One of the ways we can help the environment is by reducing water, fuel, and energy. Here are some reducing tips. So turn off the water while brushing your teeth. That's a really good way to do it. Turn off, and you know what, another one is you can turn off the water when you're washing your hands. Turn off the water, wash, scrub for 20 seconds, right, your hands, and then turn the water back on. Turn off lights when you leave the room. So many of us just leave the lights on all day long. So try to be good about that too. Walk rather than using a vehicle. So yeah, absolutely, maybe biking or scooting. And unplug electronic devices. So things that you are not using, like maybe the toaster, you can unplug that. If it's not being used, why not? Plants. Did you know that trees provide us with both food and oxygen? So the oxygen that we breathe is from plants. Trees and plants are very important to our environment. Here's how you can take care of plants. Don't pick flowers. Water plants and trees. And plant new plants, flowers, and trees. And I just did that recently. I planted some new plants in my garden, so I'm really excited to see them grow. animals. So, reducing, reusing, and recycle also has a positive impact on animals in our environment. Many insects need plants and trees to survive. Picking up trash also prevents animals from getting caught up in waste, especially if you guys go to the beach and you see trash on the beach. Make sure you're picking up with gloves or something, but yeah, absolutely clean up the beaches because a lot of that gets the animals can get caught in them. It is important to be aware that when we don't take care of our earth, it can be harmful to animals and our future. So picking up waste is a great way to help animals. Doing your part. So what can you do? So how can you do your part in taking care of the earth? Here are some suggestions. You can pick up trash even if it's not yours. And I see a lot of you guys when you guys were out at recess and at lunch picking up trash that you saw that somebody didn't throw away, which is awesome. Reuse water bottles is another one. Use energy efficient light bulbs. So that would be something that your parents would do. Walk, bike, or use public transportation. And we talked about that a lot this year about walking to school or biking to school. Plant a tree. Maybe plant a tree, plant some plants, right? Turn off electronic devices and talk about going green with your family and your friends. And here are some terms that you might have seen throughout the story and the slides, and you may not have known what that meant. Environment, that is the natural world. Oxygen is a chemical found in the air. Recycling, to make something new from something that has been used before. Reducing, to make something smaller in size or amount. Reusing, to use something again. And waste, material that is left over or that is unwanted after something has been made. All right, so Earth Day, that was all about Earth Day. Think about some facts that you learned, and you need to think about at least 3 facts that you learned on these slides about Earth Day and use that in your writing.